and your life.
Right, welcome back, everyone. We have something really nice here. Izumi is going to do all three Streets of Rage games back to back. It'll be a sight to see.
Yeah, I'm back, guys, and I hope I'll do something decent with that because the game is pretty random and it's very late here in France, so it's gonna be very fun to see how it goes. So I'm gonna play the 3 games in a row in easy difficulty because obviously it's faster. We get shorter stages for Streets of Rage 3, which has a specific bad ending, and yeah, less enemies with less health. Obviously, it's way much faster. So if I wanted to do the full run with on hardest difficulties, the run would be about plus 2 hours, almost 3 hours long. So it would not be as interesting to watch. So for that trilogy run, we can only pick 2 characters, which is Blaze and Axel, because these are the only characters that you can play through all the trilogy. Adam it's okay. He sucks, so we don't need him. Wink to the runners of Adam. So yeah, if you're ready with time, I will just start on the character select
Yeah, I'm
screen.
good to go.
Yeah, in 3, 2, 1, go.
Good luck.
Thanks. I'll need it. So we are playing Blaze, which is the goddess of Streets of Rage 1, one of the best character in the trilogy.
So I guess I have to ask this: what made you compelled to not just run one Streets of Rage, but all three Streets of Rage games for this marathon?
Oh, because there is always that fight between communities of Streets of Rage, always asking themselves which one is the best. And I just want to answer that simply saying that all 3 games are very different from one another, and I just love them, all of them equally. So
great.
I wanted to showcase all 3. So yeah, this is a special category that I just made up because there is no speedrun.com category of that. I don't see any point of making such things, but it's actually very enjoyable to play the game with only one character, playing all the games in a row. So in Streets of Rage 1, you have a very specific kind of combo. You can do infinite combo, which is just made by moving your character from right to left while looping your 3 first combo hits. As you can see, I just loop my hits. Now we are fighting the first boss, which is Antonio. I call him Antonio Banderas. I like him. He plays with a boomerang. It's a very dangerous weapon for a punk. So we need to arrest him. So that was the boss. So the main story is like the syndicate of crime has taken over the city, and the big evil of this game is called Mr. X. So we are vigilantes, ex-cops that went on a mission to stop that guy with our fists, because why not? And as you can see, Blaze doesn't need any kind of weapon. She can destroy pretty much every thugs in the streets. So the thing that makes Blaze a really strong character is that she basically has no flaws at all. She does have few, but these are not used during the run. So it makes her the best character to play for that. Whoops.
And you're using her for all 3 runs, right?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to double check on that.
So in this game she's fast, she does a lot of damage, We rely on that knee grab combo, which is actually very strong. She has a good range. It's actually very useful in this game to trap enemies. The stun lock is pretty good. I'm gonna throw that knife on that guy. Okay, the clowns in the game are very annoying, so these are the first guy I'm gonna take off the screen. They can be very annoying. And we are fighting now the second boss, which is Freddy Krueger.
Dang, what a punk.
Oh, we have such a slow ass Garcia. Very slow ass AA. And he's dead. This is how you beat the boss. Very easy. Even with my lags. I'm playing that safe because yeah, I have a few slowdowns. It's just my PC that doesn't really like all that setup. So now we are at the beach. And we are gonna see Mr. Abdidi. She's a wrestler. Yeah, the good thing about Adam is just his jump kick. He got a good jump kick, does a good amount of damage, but he's slow as fuck. So he's behind compared to the two other characters. He's not behind by a big march. It's something like 1 to 2 minutes difference, but it's enough to make him a weak character and more complicated character to play. Because it changes all the dynamic of your movements and stuff to deal with your surrounding. So now I'm using a lot, you can see I'm using a lot the knife, which is one of the best weapon in this game, because you can basically one-shot every thugs with it. The knife have a weird propriety, so it's actually very hard to use it. There is no command that makes you throw the knife. You have actually that on the same exact button as the attack one. So if you're not facing an enemy that is aggressive towards you, you might throw the knife accidentally and lose it. So now we will dance with Abdidi. Need to get rid of that guy because we need some privacy so we can dance. Alright, dance is over. Now back to save the city. That was Abdidi. Blaze does have a double hit with the knife. It's in the second game.
So what is your favorite Streets of Rage game, and which one is your favorite to speedrun?
Oh, that's a tricky question. My favorite by far is the second Streets of Rage, because it's also the very first game I have ever played. Like I've said in the beginning of the marathon, when I was running the other game. And it holds a special place in my heart. That's obvious. This is why it's my favorite. But if you want to be serious about speedrun, the second game is not a good speedrun game because it has a lot of random element to it. And if you want a very specific speedrun, skill-based speedrun, the third game is the best. Like every single move that you do is always, there is no RNG. So if you play the game perfectly, you will crush the game the same time, no matter what.
And then how does this game compare to the other two as far as the speedrun goes?
So this one is between the two. It has some random elements, but it's very minor. So you can also play perfectly the same exact choreography and try to prevent some stuff. And you can still do very well in this game, but sometimes things can go very wrong. It really depends. Also, I'm playing with a PlayStation 3 controller. This game, Streets of Rage 1, is better to be played with an arcade stick or on keyboard because of the right-left movement that has to be very quick. And with a D-pad, it's not always optimal. So I can drop my infinite combos. And you can see here how good that technique can be. So you can hit enemies from both sides and deal with them pretty quickly. There is that Garcia. I was waiting for him. This knife is for you. Special shout out to that poor Garcia. And now we fight a boss that I call Robert. His real name is Bongo. Oh, I messed up. It's okay.
He can breathe fire.
Yes, he do that. It's very dangerous. So I almost failed it, but yeah, this is the magic of beat 'em ups. You have some random elements, and if you do a mistake, you always need a backup plan. So that was my backup plan. So the game requires you to have a pretty good reflex and AI reading. So if you see an enemy doing a certain type of action, you have to quickly come up with a strategy to counter that guy in order to not lose
So
a lot
overall,
of
a
time.
good amount of variety across all three games as far as speedrun go.
Yeah, like the games has been made by a different team between 1 and 2, which is the game was made by the Shinobi team for the first one, and they actually did the third Streets of Rage in let's say in cooperation with Ancient, who made Streets of Rage 2. So this is actually very this is why the games are very different and took different paths and tried different approach to the gameplay for the best, for the better or the worse, depending on the people that prefers one episode or another. But it has kind of no effect to me because I love them. So I think it's great this way that we have such unique games instead of having a poor sequel that is just exactly the same. Wink wink, Final Fight 2.
Oh.
Let's eat that chicken. Oh, I know it's turkey, but I say chicken because since I'm a kid, I kept saying that. Oh, Abdidi were mad at me. Dude, chill, I'm dancing with you. I know you want another dance. So Abdidi is slowly falling in love of Blaze. Who wouldn't? So we gave him another dance and we can continue. And we use a cup here. The cup takes us 10 seconds on the screen with all the animation and stuff. But trust me, with the black clowns, it's totally worth it because these guys are a pain in the ass to deal with. So we are already at the last screen of that stage. Oh, this stage is famous for casual people for being one of the hardest stage because of the boss. And it's kind of hard to deal with the lags, but I can do it. I can do it. Just have to stay focused. I don't like that baseball bat being here. Alright, I got that clown. So, let's see the waifu. So the waifus are Onime and Yasha, twin boss. I'm focusing because with the lags it's actually very scary. And I got it. So that was one of the hardest, claimed one of the hardest boss of the game. Cleared perfectly, easily. They're dead. And it makes me sad because it's my favorite boss in the game. But don't worry, they're back for the third game.
Huh, very nice.
And we are still going to see a lot of FDD. Because this guy really loves us. I'm trying to keep up with chat in the same time, see if there is some smart questions. But besides seeing some runners' name that I know talking shit about me.
Speaking of that, how is the community for the Streets of Rage games, as far as speedrunning goes?
That's an interesting question. Before I came on speedrun.com, there was not much runners, and there wasn't even a Streets of Rage 3 page. That pains me. And I was like, why? Streets of Rage is like, it was not a huge success in Japan, but it has a lot of success in Europe and USA. So I thought the game would have been a lot of runners and stuff, but I was saddened to see that no one's actually run the game. Not a lot. So I decided to change all the categories, gives all the difficulty stuff, characters, and allows more players to be accepted to play the game. And of course added next Streets of Rage 3, because there wasn't even a page for that game, that I separated with the Japanese release as well, because these games are very different from one another. But yes, after doing all that and starting to stream, because Streets of Rage is my main stream game, people actually started to run the game, and now we have a good amounts of runner, especially on the second game, which is the most famous one. Streets of Rage 1 has a good amounts of player as well. 3 needs still some love, but we'll give people some time, I guess. Soon enough, the game's gonna shine as well.
And do people who speedrun, say, one Streets of Rage game, do they speedrun other ones, or is it just
it depends
one person
on people. If they want to speedrun all the games they attempt to try the others, but mainly they just focus in their own category in game, which is their favorite game. And that's pretty normal. Also, I haven't talked about the AA of the Black Electras. Sometimes if you try to punch some of them, they'll start to cry and get totally invincible. So you can't hit them. So the way to beat this kind of enemy is to use your grab. Fun fact about this stage, on the PAL version of the game, you actually get hit by the machine if you walk straight forward, like I just did, even with Blaze, which is the fastest character. So the PAL version is so slow that you still get hit by the machine. Alright, now we are fighting ninjutsu cloning technique Freddy Krueger. So let's see if I can get the strat working. Got it. Very hard boss, as you can see.
Wow.
And cup
That
for
was
the point style. Cups are useless. We don't need that for the bosses. We need
Dang
Murphy.
cups.
And now it's the Happy Elevator section of the game, which is the only elevator stage, easy one. Well, there is a little one in Streets of Rage 3, but the one in the second game is famous for its difficulty. This one is like the baby version. You can throw enemies, have fun. It's a very fun stage. And we can also get on top of that and dance here.
Why is this elevator so big? Asks Techno Gnome. I don't know. Maybe they knew people would fight on it.
Well, if you paid attention in stage 2, the doors are pretty big as well. It's like
There we go.
huge doors on the background. But yeah, it's their very first beat 'em up game, so like it's actually gorgeous. It has a lot of detail. The sprites are absolutely beautiful. Look at that detailed censorship when Blaze is doing the back attack. She's just putting her fists to hide her panties. Look at that detail. And you are not you will not be able to see the panties of Blaze in Streets of Rage 2 because we are playing the US versions, sadly, for the fanboys. Ah, no, don't go there. I want your baseball bat. Oh, and if your life is low here and you don't want to lose time, you can suicide. So it resets your health bar to full. And you won't lose time, because it's always the same transition when the elevators goes up.
It almost looked like she fell down and then it looped around and
Yeah, she's back on track.
like a portal or something.
That was easy. Alright. Now we are getting to the last screen, which is a beautiful screen, by the way, as you can have that beautiful view in the background.
I'm
Tons
digging
of
these backgrounds.
buildings. And the last wave of enemy. Let's hope that I don't accidentally hit my my keyboard by reflex, because there is a special glitch that I'm gonna show at the end of the full runs. And the best song in the game playing right now, and we are to the last stage of the game already. That was fast. So this is the basic last stage of a beat 'em up, where you have that long ass hallway in order to get to the boss, and you have to fight every single boss again, because why not? Boss rush is cool. So here I wait a little bit because there is a table. I want to be able to eat it. And we scroll the screen to fight everyone in the same time. Also notice that for an early Genesis game there is a ton of enemies on screen, which was pretty impressive for the time. I remind you that the game was out in '91, and Antonio Banderas is back for some knees. This guy must be one of the best thug in the city. Like, this guy literally is a leader of a gang fighting with a boomerang. Like, can you find a guy more swag than this guy?
Just if somebody fought on the streets with the boomerang, I'd just be impressed if they made it work.
Oh, nope, I didn't got it. Oh, that was a good pack of enemy. Okay, I got it here. Oh, and I love Blaze's third hit combo because it just stuns enemies from such good distance. It's one of their good weapon. You can also do the right-left move with that boss, with the Freddy Krueger boss, but for me, it's actually very dangerous to do that, because if you don't do that on a very perfect timing, you can get attacked by the boss. So I used that weird teleportation move, where when you are out of the screen and hold the forward button, you get instantly back in front of the boss and grab him in an infinite loop, which is great. So all this stuff are specific tricks that you can only do in this game. All that stuff will disappear in the next game. So, like I said, Abdidi is back again for a little dance. This guy loves me. So now we get the girl. Come on. Oh yeah, I have lots of input lags. See, for doing the right-left, it's not very good for me. This is why I use a lot of simple attacks instead of using the right-left. Alright, Robert is back. The cool thing with Blaze also on that boss is that she can instantly grab him. You just have to hold forward, but with Axel and Adam, you have to move down. Otherwise the boss will start to attack you. It's not tango that they should dance. It's what is the OB of Blaze? She loves to dance to the lambada. It's in her bio in the start of the game. She loves dancing lambada.
I'm more of a tango man myself, but the lambada's cool too.
Oh god, I got killed by the by the infamous loop kick of doom. Yeah, on hardest hello? Oh, okay, I skipped the Garcias already, so it's twin time. I got caught off guard.
Inside the door now.
Yes, it is. Just imagine now Mr. X having that urgent time to go to the bathroom. You have to walk all that hallway, take the elevator to get back to the toilets. Like, how this guy do? It's just fucking crazy. All right, we are at the last screen. And now he's asking us.
And that's Mr. X right there.
Oh, why is it in Japanese? I'm supposed to play the US version. That's weird.
Oh, all this time, you find out the very end what language.
Well, there is no problems. There is no difference. But yeah, that's pretty weird because I was on US, so that's kind of funny. So what is he saying? Is he's asking you if you want to join his team, and if you say yes, it's a trap. It just literally throw you back to stage 6, and you have to play the game all over again, all those stages, to get back to Mr. X.
That is cruel.
Also, the fun thing about the text is that in English, he's calling you a man, even if you play as Blaze. So he asks you if you want to join him, man, and he's dead. Oh, also, this sprite is actually Abdidi, but just with a costume and a gun. This is why you saw me dancing with the final boss. So that's it for the first game. So now
Very
we
nice.
are switching to Streets of Rage 2.
1 out of 3 down.
Now I'm actually very
prob-
curious about the... Yeah, it worked. That was very weird. That was very weird. I got the Japanese text. Interesting. So I put easy. And we are good to go with Blaze. That has a upgrade. We are 1 year later. Adam's got captured because Adam is so bad, was so bad in the first game that Mr. X had no difficulty to kidnap him. So now Blaze and Axel, with the help of a wrestler named Max, which is the most broken character in beat 'em up history, and Skate, the brother of Adam, is gonna try to save him from Mr. X.
So will we see as much dancing in this run?
No dancing now.
Aww.
So they upgraded the gameplay. So now we have new movements. We have a dash, a blitz move. We have offensive and defensive special, and we don't have the cup special move anymore. So now it's replaced by all those special moves. So if you touch an enemy with your defensive special, you lose a chunk of health. Same for the offensive move that you can see, which is a fireball. A lot of movements are very close similarities with Street Fighter, because the developers actually were pretty huge fan of Street Fighter 2 at this moment when they were developing Streets of Rage 2. So there is a lot of nods to the game. So like I said, it's a whole different team that worked on that game, which is the Yuzo Koshiro's development team called Ancient. I have to mention as well that Yuzo Koshiro's sisters named Ayano also worked and did a lot of things and helped a lot while developing this game. So it's a great thing. Gonna get rid of Electra. Yeah, the frame rate is it's pretty bad. I'm sorry, it's my computer that starts slowly dying because of my multiple
it's me.
streams.
It's entirely me, don't worry about it.
It's
looks
you
like
as
it's
well.
stabilized.
Could, if need be, could pause just so we don't lose more gameplay.
We should be
Okay,
good to go.
Okay.
we are fine?
Yeah, it seems good now.
Alright. So this poor barman is the guy that we need some information from. So we are just destroying his bar and beating him up.
Then he gets information for you.
Yeah. So we are at the second stage, which is a bridge. Yeah, note that Yuzo Kochiro's music in this game is pretty legendary. He did a lot of godlike soundtracks, but this one is particularly well known through all the world. He actually based his inspiration out of dance clubs in US. So there is a lot of techno dance song. Also a very great cover, if I might say, in stage 4 of a boys band from the 19s called The Shaman. The song is called Move Any Mountains, so you can type that and research the video clip. It's gorgeous. So in Streets of Rage 2, Blaze is actually one of the weakest character. Even if she's my favorite character, I have to say for speedrun, in Streets of Rage 2, a game that has a lot of random aspects and demands you to do a lot of damage quick and kill enemies quickly. Blaze is very bad to do that because she doesn't have much damage. All her moves are unsafe. But thankfully we are playing on easy mode, so enemies doesn't have much health. So she's still very good here. She's even better than Axel, which is kind of weird and funny. So now we are fighting Jet, which is the flying boss. Let's try to bait him. Oh, got him. Come on, Jet. Yes, we got him. He's dead. Goodbye, Jet.
Very, very nice.
So that was an AA manipulation, which is kind of completely random and very, very hard to do on easy. I'm surprised that Jet cooperated, because
So is it easier to manipulate on normal then?
yeah, the more you ramp up the difficulty, the more aggressive the enemies gets. So you can kind of force the AA to always do the same move to you.
Interesting.
The problem is that they coded the game in a way where even when you are playing in a certain difficulty, some enemies' AA can totally change, like randomly. So you can play on easy mode but still have a Garcia that moves like and reacts like if he was on hardest mode, or you can get the total different situation where you are playing hardest, for example, and you get a Garcia that is so slow reacting and doing nothing on the screen, like if it was easy mode. It's kind of the beauty of that game. Everything is random. Every enemies are kind of random in a way. So you have to deal with that a lot in this game. So here I have some cool setups. So Blaze, like Max, when she's inside the hitbox of one enemy, can do multiple hits, so she does more damage this way, which is kind of cool. Oh baby, I got a good lineup, and the ninja didn't troll me. Wow. So I have a
Good ninja.
So that ninja that you see on the background can just drop in and stay on the background the time he wants. Sometimes it can be 20 seconds, sometimes it can be 5 seconds. He can troll you like that, and he's totally invincible while standing up on the background. So there is nothing you can do. So in a speedrun, when you try to obviously get the best time ever or compete for having a world record, yeah, that's a reset point if that guy decides to chill on the screen. So this is why playing on easy mode is not hard in the way you can imagine, because easy mode is fairly easy. You can finish the game without efforts, but speedrunning the game on easy is actually a mess, because you need that good RNG throughout the whole run, and this is absolutely insane. Yeah, I got him to be like that for 20 seconds in one of my runs. I did a lot of Streets of Rage runs. 2 is the game I had the most time play on. And this sub-boss that you see here is a sort of alien, because in the team they were also fan of Aliens movies and Predator movie. I call him Kirby. It's actually very accurate because that alien is cute. So this is the Zamza loop. Very easy boss. So basically what we do is just we bait the boss on wake up to do the uppercut. So we know that he's gonna do that all the time, so we just have to jump away from him and jump back in, and so we can grab him or do a special and instantly kill him. Ooh, Garcia knife. Garcia knives are very funny because these guys, no matter what the difficulty you're on, they change their speed all the time. So you can play on one of the hardest difficulty, and instead of having a Sonic moving Garcia, you get that grandpa that tries to stab you in slow motion. It's kind of funny. Oh, thank you Donovan for getting back online. Can I explain the lore with the alien? I have no fucking clue. Basically, in the development, it was supposed to be a guy piloting the alien, but it took way much more memories for the game, so they had to make that kind of weird head on the wall. You can see the thing they wanted to do in Streets of Rage 3 when you fight the mid boss at the end of the game, the doctor that is using a mechanical arm. It was kind of an idea like that they had for Streets of Rage 2. So a lot of ideas that they got in Streets of Rage 2 got scrapped out of the game, and they just put it back in Streets of Rage 3. Now Fat Dude. So this guy is the version of the bongo boss that we saw, that's Spitfire in Streets of Rage 1. So now they are basic enemies, very easy to beat.
And they don't breathe fire?
They do. They do breathe fire still. So now we are into the elevator of stage 4, which is the moment in the game where the game gets serious. So all the thing you saw from the beginning of this game was kind of like a tutorial to introduce you to enemies, the way they work, how they counter you and stuff. And now it's the moment where the game really tests your ability and your understanding of the game. The game is very well crafted that way. Every enemy behave in a certain way, and they smartly crafted the spawn points to add enemies together, making some sick combos. For example, the simple combo that I can talk about while we are seeing the Streets of Rage 2 version of Abadidi. So now we are not dancing anymore, we are just wrestling fights in that secret area under the baseball field. And guess what? That's the slim girl that won. RIP. So yeah, what I was saying about that smart AA composition is, for example, if you take the Donovan enemy, the bald guy, this guy have an anti-air. Every time you jump, based on his aggressiveness, he can do an anti-air uppercut to just destroy you every time you try to jump on him. The Signals enemies, the punks that slide, will always try to grab you if you turn your back on them. Or they'll tackle you if you face them. So the problem is when a Signal is actually doing the tackle move and there is a Donovan behind him, you have basically no options, because if you jump, the Donovan punish you with an uppercut. And if you try to do something on the floor, the Signal punish you by sliding, so it tackles you. So this is that kind of combo mechanics between enemies that I'm talking about. And it can get really, really annoying when you play the game on a Mania mode, for example. So we are waiting for some enemies to spawn here. I'm gonna spam my special, take the turkey, and we jump kick that clone called Wayne, which is the boss of the first stage that is back in the boat. So I made up my own lore. So after breaking his bar, and destroying jets, they all went back to the secret island where Mr. X is to kind of cry to Mr. X because they got defeated. So this is why we see all of them, because they went in the boats. Oh, these guys are very annoying. I hate them so much. So the bikers can grab you, and they have the best punch range in the game, which is actually very annoying. And we see the ninjas. I think it's the most favorite enemy of casual players of the game. They actually hate the ninjas because they jump everywhere. So now we are fighting Mario, because yes, there is Mario in this game. And Mario is now a boxer. A glorious boxer, very sexy. And I'm trying to make him at a good place so I can showcase Blaze Loop. Whoops. Yeah, I'm
That guy's just watching the show.
getting a lot of lags. This is why I dropped it. But yeah, you have to be very precise in your use of defensive special. When you use your defensive special, you are invincible. And the boss on Wake Up gets also invincibility frames, and he does instantly an uppercut at you. So what you want to do is to use your invincibility frames in same times of the ones of the boss. So no one's actually touch each other. And like the boss after that exhausts his iframes, you can grab him again. So this is why it does create that loop. And this ninja here, I call him Naoto, because he's the worst ninja ever. So he deserves that name. Goodbye, Naoto. Now we continue. Don't do that. Okay. Got him. This Mario seems legit. Wait till you see Luigi. There is Luigi as
Is he
well.
also in this game?
So this is how I can showcase that signal AA comportment. As you can see, I turned my back on them, so they wanted to grab me. So this is a kind of like a bait. So you can bait them to follow you, and once they are getting close, you can do a back jump and just get them very easily. Yeah, and I just waited a few seconds, but that's my bad. It's because I play so much different categories that I just get mixed between the spawns, because you have to memorize per heart every single spawn in this game. So it changes from every single difficulty, and Streets of Rage 2 have very stupid amounts of difficulty. Like really a lot of. If you count the cheat codes, that gives you 2 special difficulty. You have very easy, normal, hardest, and mania mode.
That is a lot.
That is a lot.
Have you done a run on every single one of those, or just normal
Yes.
and easy?
Every single one, and almost with every character in the game.
Wow.
So now I'm gonna show you how to skip jets. So this technique works every time in order to skip jet. It's absolutely ridiculous with Blaze because you have to do so much thing, but it works. As you can see, normally you fight that boss with jet in the same time, but here I just skipped him. It's not very useful for easy mode because, you know, it's it's just easy. I just did that for show to the spectators, but it's a very cool strategy to use when you play, for example, Mania mode, because in Mania mode you have 3 jets in the same time on that fight. So good luck to survive that kind of stuff. So we are killing Buffett, and we are to the factory level of the game. We are almost at the end of Streets of Rage 2 already. But we have the Hell Elevator to finish first. So you get the classic kind of trap with the moving floor and stuff. I don't like that in beat 'em ups, but yeah, I think they are mandatory in pretty much every one of them. Oh yeah, you won't get hit by Electra when she do that appearance with a kick. So you can instantly start to loop her. Okay, there is life here. Got down so that Ninja doesn't jump at our face. So we can instantly kill him like that. And get to the elevator. Ouais. Les rues de la rage, oui. In French, Streets of Rage. Yeah, the Japanese name of the game is Bare Knuckle. You can see in stage 3 the enemies playing an arcade game named Bare Knuckle. So it's Inception. And we got Griffiths. Pretty nice. Got him. Yeah, the sound effects are pretty neat in this game. Especially the pipe one, when you're just hitting enemies with the pipe. Which is the same sound that Skate make as well. Oh, and if you want to know why they changed the name, because yeah, in the Japanese version they actually have things that you don't see in the US version. It's just censorship. They changed the name of Skate and they censored Jump Kick of Blaze because it's shown in the Japanese version. You can see her panties when she's doing the jump kick. Here you can see it because they changed the sprite, so it's censored. And they normally the name of Skate is Sammy Skate Hunter, and they changed it into Eddie Skate Hunter, which is kind of weird when you think of it. Why would they change the name? But it was just for a simple reason, because a company, the American company that makes the game Yuzu Boy, which is a game where the character looks like Skate a lot, is called Sammy. The company is called Sammy, which is the name of the Japanese character. So it was a little confusion thing. So they preferred to change the name.
And there are no differences that affect the run?
Nothing. The differences are only in the third game.
Okay.
If you count a difference that doesn't matter in the speedrun because we made a rule for it, actually the text of Mr. X in Japanese is faster in the first game when he talks to you. But we actually made a rule to make that equal, so there is no problem for the speedrun. And that was Luigi. That clone of a bear is weirdly the only enemy clone that is green. That's kind of fun, knowing that the other one is red. So I call them Mario and Luigi. I like that. So this is the boss rush. So we have to destroy his guys again because they won't understand. I found that scene kind of funny because you see you are in the elevator getting to X, and the enemies are popping from the top of the screen. So I imagine myself seeing Shiva, the right hand of Mr. X, just throwing the enemies down because they won't fight us anymore because they're getting destroyed every time. So they force them to get down to fight. So now there's Abdidi for the very last time. We are fighting this guy. Oh, and little piece of trivia about Abdidi. His name is actually the name of one of the developers of the first game. His name was Abdidi Jr. Credited, so it's this pseudonym. So they actually named that boss after that developer. Holy hell, my lag's getting so terrible. I'm sorry, that's my shitty PC.
Just makes it more dramatic in slow motion.
So for Shiva, the strat is pretty easy. You just manipulate his AA because he's basically reading your inputs. So I punch when you wake up, so the AA goes in block mode, and the time he just go off the block mode, I just use my special and I can hit him. And we are fighting the last boss already, Mr. X. Wow, that Garcia was so nice to me. He was just watching me destroying Mr. X. So kind of him. Oh, I need to try that. Oh no, he's dead. ID off. I love to kill Mr. X by throwing him a Garcia or Donovan on his face. Because he can die from collision damage. So you can throw a Garcia on him and he dies. It's pretty fun to do that. That was Streets of Rage 2. And we are instantly jumping to the third game.
On the home stretch here.
Oop. Come on. So this one is actually very cool to play on easy because it's actually faster. In the US version of the game, they decided to put a bad ending exclusive to the US version of the game. So we only play 5 stages instead of playing 7 stage. Which is 7 stage total in this game. But trust me guys, even if there is only 7 stage instead of 8, the game is absolutely long. It's super long, like crazy long. If you play it on hard mode, it takes like 1 hour to finish it. Come back, girl. So the whole game dynamic changed again because the Team Shinobi is back. So they actually changed a lot of the gameplay. So we can forget the blitz moves. They are less useful in this version. We are more using the combos attack. And I'm having such lags. I think I've never had such lags. Yeah, for Streets of Rage 3 it's kinda crazy. I don't know why. So that's kinda stressful right now. So I don't want to have to reset that. I think it's the fact that the emulator was up during the whole thing. So there's these guys with the guns in this game that fires very slow as bullets. So the sword is very good. You get a special dash attack with Blaze, and it does a lot of damage. very useful. And we can punch the bikes, and it actually has a pretty useful thing for the speedrun, because it actually makes them move faster on the screen if you obviously punch them at the right moment, which I have a huge difficulty to do with all those lags. Oh my god. Blaze looks so... No, it's... Blaze look a lot like... what's her name? The actress who played Kimberly in Power Ranger. I always thought about that when I was young. They kinda look alike.
That's oddly appropriate considering there was a Power Ranger run where Kimberly was used earlier in the marathon.
And yeah, the Power Ranger game is actually a very fun beat 'em up to play. There is not much in depth with the AA, like it's basically always the same enemies types and same AA reaction. In Streets of Rage it's a lot deeper, because you have so much things, things to do in this game. In Streets of Rage 3, it kind of works like... oh my god, the lags are very scary. I hope my PC won't crash. So... Oh no! I got... Get back, Shiva. I need to do the loop for people. Because people need to see how we beat Shiva. There we go. They are very easy. The boss in this game are very easy, sadly. The game is the US version of this game is the hardest by far. It's a really hard game. Oops. Sorry, dude. I didn't want it to kill you. Yes, Batman Returns on Super NES is a very good beat 'em up by Konami. I'm trying to figure out what I can do to actually calm down the CPU right now. I think it's just I think it might be Discord, the fact that I'm on Discord at the same time. Navigator can get pretty huge in memory. So I'm absolutely not used to do that kind of a stream. It's my very first time, so I apologize for my old material. It was invincible. What the fuck? Bruce, don't do that, Bruce.
There's a kangaroo right there.
Yes, and he's a playable character in the game. Because if you free him on that fight, you actually unlock him.
Wow, is he a good character?
Not for me, but for some people, they actually say that he's pretty strong. But I find him weak. Sorry. So this is the dance floor. That kind of reminds me of the dance floor in the first Shinobi Genesis game, The Revenge of Shinobi.
Dang, it's a shame she can't dance in this game like in the first game. It'd be so appropriate.
Yeah. We're gonna see the waifus back in this stage.
Okay.
They are actually the boss here.
Give the audience what they want.
Totally reskinned with new moves. Stupidly named Mona and Lisa in the US version, but I highly prefer the Japanese name, Onihime and Yasha. Much more accurate. Alright. I won't go into the huge differences between the Japanese version and American one because there is so much difference. I'll just highlight the ones that are useful. For example, here for that loop, in the Japanese version, when you use a special and you spam it, even if your meter is not full, you lose life, and the life penalty loss is huge in the Japanese version. But as you can see here in the US version, I can spam my special like an idiot, and I don't lose life that much. Like just a little chunk, like 1 HP. So in this game you can actually spam your special like crazy, and this is the good thing about the US version of the game. So I just messed up at the end, but basically you can kill them both in the same time if you keep having a good position and good timing. Oh, and come that stage. So this is a stage that have wind effects. So it actually have an effect on your attacks and movements. So like the wind is blowing in one side, so it kind of makes your character go further. And that can be very annoying at some place when you are fighting enemies and stuff and doing calculate and move. Or just for example trying to make an enemy fall into the pit and the wind is blowing to the opposite direction, so the guy is just falling on the floor instead of falling to the pit. Oh, and also in this game, compared to the first one and the second one, the damage collision between enemies are pretty huge. It deals a lot of damage in this game, so you can actually abuse of this. And poof, dead.
I have to say, it has been pretty interesting to see all these games back to back. It's easy to see the progression between them and shared elements, and maybe
Yeah.
not so shared elements.
So this mini, I call that bonus stage with a bulldozer, just kind of similar to the Final Fight 3 idea of putting that thing into a bonus, which is kind of weird. There is a difference with the Japanese version of the game also. There is more walls, but they have less health, so it's basically the same time to pass through that. I think there is not much to say. Maybe it's the worst music, the worst music in that section. But now we are back on track with a cool song. And I'm gonna showcase why this game has absolutely no RNG. And this screen here is actually the best one to showcase that stuff. So now we are doing a Jackie Chan choreography. Look at that. If I can pull that off with lags. Oh, I forgot the Donovan, but it's fine. There we go. Ooh, that was a tiny little mistake. But yeah, as you can see, when you perfectly know the spawns of the enemies and how to use their AA, they will always do the same kind of reaction movements and stuff. So you just have to bait them and find a strategy that allows you to kill them very quickly. So this is Axel, a boss that the game tries to make you react that this guy is the actual hero of the game, but it's just a robot, because the whole plot of the game turn around robots and stuff, which is not the thing that I like the most, but you know, the 90s, after Terminator and all that kind of movie, it's pretty normal that you have robots all over the place in every video game in the 90s. So Streets of Rage did that as well. You can see they tried to introduce some robots as well in the second game, but they were not that big on that. But here there is a shitload of them. So now we are playing the boring section, my least favorite stage. So we are fighting, there is this rail with the sorts of trap machine that just come on the screen from time to time, so you have to dodge that. You can manipulate the AA to move in circle around you in order to get on the line where the machine is actually passing by, so they get all hit and killed by it. See, for example, here all the Garcias, almost all the Garcias got hit by it and instantly died. Alright. Just wait here. Alright. Let's try it. Okay. It worked. It's actually very scary to play with such lags. It actually pulls a new difficulty to the game. It's very interesting. And we have Bono. Yeah, I don't know why they named this Donovan Bono. Oh! Why? And we unlocked the 3-star move of Blaze, which is a great move, but not that strong. It's not overpowered, but it's useful sometimes. Please get up. You can see it's the Team Shinobi that actually made the game, because a lot of elements from Streets of Rage 1 are back in this game. Like you can see the Electra girls are now crying again when you try to attack them. They fake cry and get invincible, like in the first game. Oh, it's not enough. Little mistake. Alright. Rushing Beat. Talking about Rushing Beat from Jaleco. It's an interesting beat 'em up, but it's very cheap. It's like, you know, you don't have much money and you buy food, but it's not the same mark. It's like a sub-product. It doesn't taste like shit, but it's not good. That's the best image that I can pull out. It's what I think about Rushing Beat, the Rushing Beat series. It's like, yeah, it's not professional. It doesn't look that great. It doesn't look that great, but it's a fine game. But it drags too long. I'm not a huge fan of the series. Come back. We are using the cool property of the sword to get the ninjas. Come back. Oh. Didn't have time. Alright. Got it. I love that guy. He's just coming on the scene and just instantly get hit by the machine. Very smart ninjas in this game. Ninja Warriors is an excellent beat 'em up game. The music is godlike. Especially bass instruments in this game. It's just godlike. So we fight a cool boss that reminds us a lot of Shinobi in its design. Really cool song. I like that song. So I'll try to do the loop. If I manage to get it. Yeah, the position is not great. Gonna get in position for this one. We have to jump twice in order to manipulate him. And this is basically the loop you do. You want to run to the enemy, and when you get in middle of his body, you actually triggers this wake up animation to get up on the opposite side, but like you prevent that. You know that he's going to do that move, that jump, so you jump in same time on the opposite side with him, like this, so you can grab him instantly and kill him. There is another strategy, but I haven't learned it yet. That makes you do that suplex loop on them. But I definitely won't try to do that, especially with such lags. Oh, damn. He instantly went for the slash attack. Also, I didn't talk about the boss kill. When you kill a boss, you get a slow motion death animation, which is not cool for the speedrun because you lose time. So this is why all the bosses, you make sure that all the bosses get slammed down instantly on the ground, so you won't have any kind of a slow motion. Shiva not having a boss team was dumb. Yes. I think the team was rushing the game so much that they couldn't make everything in the game. That's kind of weird that such simple things were not in the game. Obviously, Streets of Rage 3 didn't had a lot of praise when it came out. People were not actually fond of the game, especially because of the difficulty and the music. I find that a little bit odd, because for a Genesis game, the game is absolutely gorgeous. The gameplay is one of the best beat 'em up gameplay ever made. It's very solid, and even the music is not that bad. Some soundtracks are very bad, especially Yuzo Koshiro's ones, because he did that experimental music program that plays random loop music. So yeah, it's not that great, but Motohiro Kawashima did great song, and you heard some of them during the break of the marathon. So I wait for Fabio. Great name. So this is the loop for that type of enemy. Oh no! Don't do that. Let's just use a special again. 'Cause why not? It's the US version. I can spam it. If you do that in Japanese version, you're gonna get destroyed. You're gonna lose a lot of life. Alright, throw. Huge damage on everyone. It's pretty cool. Uh-oh. Yeah, this is a little problem in this game. When you are close to an enemy and you want to do an offensive special, the game switch to the defensive special, which is kind of annoying. Also, you have a combo loading, a combo save. I might call that this way in English. The game saves your last input while you're doing a combo. So when you want to do a combo reset, instead of having a proper loop, the game saves your last combo input. So just after it, like you can see here, I'm gonna do the last 8 combo of Blaze, which can be very annoying in the game. So you always have to pay attention to your combo and just punch the air to actually avoid knocking down an enemy. Because for the speedrun, the best thing to do is always to kill your enemy as fast as possible instead of knocking him down. Like, it's the basic stuff that you need to do in pretty much every beat 'em up in general. Yeah, the difficulty of Streets of Rage 3 is pretty rough to start with, but I'm gonna be honest with you, it's not that hard. For a console game, it's hard, but if you take the beat 'em ups on arcade, we are in a very different world. So Streets of Rage 3 is kinda taking some of the complex difficulty from arcades beat 'em up, but it's not entirely insanely hard. You just need to learn. Like I said, there is no RNG in this game. Enemies behave always the same time, depending on what you're doing. So if you find something that works, you can do that every single time. It will work. 100% safe. All the time. So once you learn the game, and you learn to play that game perfectly, you won't have any difficulty to finish it. But yeah, that can be kind of surprising when you are used to play Streets of Rage 2 and you play this one and you're like, oh my god, Donovan just did one combo on me and almost instantly killed me with one single combo. Where in Streets of Rage 2 you are it's just an habit, you just get hit every time, so you don't lose that much health. But in this game you can lose a huge amounts of health very quickly if you make one single mistake. So the game punishes you really hard. And I think this is why the people didn't like the difficulty in this game. Don't touch me. We have the female squad, Punk. Also you can notice they censored all the clothing of Electras and Susie here. Normally in Japanese version they are showing more skin. They covered up everything on them. And we are going to finish this run, actually.
Very nice.
So this is not the true ending, but the game ends here for easy mode on US version. So we are at this penthouse with that beautiful scenery, one of the most beautiful screen of Streets of Rage. It's actually one of my favorites. It's absolutely gorgeous with the city outside and all the colors and stuff. It's really beautiful. And it hurts me every time someone say that Streets of Rage 3 is just a copy-paste of the second game. This game looks gorgeous in some sections. Oh, I hate when they do that. So I'm gonna show you the boss flow here, which is kind of funny. So this is the basic new combo that loop that I found for that boss. But I won't kill him yet. I'm gonna show you the cool thing about him. Just come back here, dude. I'm trying to show something to people. Stop laughing. You're useless, boss. Look at that. This is the reason why this boss is stupid. You just have to stand up in this position, and the boss is like trying to eat you and never eats you.
Wow, that's amazing.
And time. End of the trilogy run with Blaze on easy mode with tons of lag, but I did it. It's okay.
GG.
We're
that
fine.
was amazing to watch.
I really tried my best, but wow, the lags at the beginning of Streets of Rage 3 were really insane. So
Yeah,
now you get
excellent
the bad ending, all that effort, and you only defeated my stand in. You have not discovered the text to speak too fast. You play this game like a beginner.
Wow.
I
that's
love that.
harsh.
It's so rough. Imagine you're a kid and you can't even beat normal mode and you have to play on easy mode because the game is too hard for you and you get that ending instead. I
Imagine
bet
if you
even
played, like,
some
all three
kids
games.
I bet even some kids used to only play on easy mode and were not even aware of 2 stages after that. The end?
Oh,
Did you want to show that credits for it?
Yeah, I actually want to show you a little fun credit warp in Streets of Rage 1.
Streets of Rage fun doesn't end quite yet, folks.
So we can get back to this. I have a save state loaded just for that. So basically, you have in order to do that glitch, that technique, you need a friend. Or if you don't have friends like me, you use a keyboard as a second player controller like this. So I can control Axel because I don't have friends. So basically you just walk here. You let Axel get hit by that table. You put him on that line and you start eating him. Because Axel is a bad boy. Don't ask me questions. You do that. That's it. Just beat him. It sucks that you have damage reduce. It's pretty long to lower his life. I think we are kind of okay here. I'm gonna just give him a little punch more. Let's try it. Let's try if I can do it. If I mess up, I'll just... Okay, we got it. And end of the game.
Oh, wow.
Wait, what? Wait, what? So you can do that with your friends on 2 player or just like me, 1 controller, 1 player and 2 controllers in the same time. Basically what I just did there was lowering Axel's health to the point where the Garcia is gonna kill him. I make Axel walk just on top of Blaze, so I can still show you that. I place Blaze here on that dark line. I make Axel walk, and I do this. Oh, I messed up here. I need to show you the good. There we go. So here, basically what I did is I grabbed Axel, but while Axel was coming to Blaze, he actually took the aggro of that Garcia, and that Garcia was very angry after Axel, so he killed him, and Axel is dead. Oh no. But Blaze is actually in grab position, as you can see on that screen. The console is still thinking that I'm grabbing Axel, but he's dead. So basically, if you go out of bound in this particular stage, stage 8, you are warped instantly to the end credits. So when a player dies, where did he come back from? From the top of the screen. So 1, 2, 3. You can see I do a vault at this moment when Axel spawn on top of the screen, which the console reacts and say, oh Blaze, Axel is not here, he's on top of the screen. So he actually teleports you on top of Axel, and like on that position you are basically out of bound. Boom, credit warp, you end the game instantly. So that's the OB technique that you can do with your friends. It's fairly easy to do, you just need to get used to. It's pretty fun. So yeah, that's it. That was Streets of Rage trilogy with Blaze, with a little bonus.
Thank you so much. I think that was one of the most informative sets of runs I've ever seen. Chat would agree with me that was a blast to watch throughout.
I tried my best. There is so much information to process and talk about. I might have forgot like hundreds of different things to say, but you know, it's always like that when you're passionate about a game and you know every single thing about it. I just want to say a special thanks to Gaildog, which is like one of the best player and runner that I've ever seen in my life. And this guy basically is the first guy that did run Streets of Rage seriously and learned the game. And I know every bit of thing about this game. It's just thanks to him. He basically taught me everything. So yeah.
Make sure you all follow Izumi for more excellent commentary and excellent running.
Yeah, thanks guys for watching, and I wish you a good rest of marathon this night.
Yes, I believe we have Jet Set Radio Future by Suprix next. And on that note, I'd like to say that thank you all for having me as a host, but I need a rest. So Liz will be handling the next few runs for a bit. So this is Adrian VG signing off as well. Hope you enjoyed the marathon.